This is Frank Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report. And today, I want to cover Amazon, guys. Amazon. Did you hear about their new venture that they're getting involved in? Basically, they want to take photographs of your packages every time they make a delivery. And they decided to offer this new service, and it seems innocent enough, right? Seems very innocent on the surface. What they've basically been doing, they go out, they take pictures of your packages that they leave at your home. They send the picture over to the customer at the address and say, hey, here's where you can locate it. You know, I didn't get a shirt the other day. It wasn't UPS, it was somebody else. They said they left it. Wasn't here. Where's the proof? So I get it. Convenience. But is it just another step into our privacy? I mean, it all seems innocent enough, but it's Amazon. So you got to wonder, is it? I know it's meant to help the customers. You know, help us find our packages. We're busy. We're running errands everywhere. I'm all over the place. I get it. But Amazon has a good reason for taking these pictures in their home packages. You know, in case you call them, it's lost, blah, 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 saves them money. I get all that. But this new feature was rolled out silently, mainly over on the West Coast. It's called Amazon Logistic Photo on Delivery. And it's a new delivery innovation where they're working to improve the convenience for the customers. And they started it about 6 months ago. And people started to catch on to it because all the logistic drivers can now take the photos. And I believe it's here in Florida now, too. And basically, it was giving individuals access to see this broader geographic swath that Amazon has with their customers nationwide. And the feature is rolling out on Amazon, and it's just another step where they're increasingly asking customers to consent to their presence in their homes. We had the voice-activated speakers that record snippets on commands to high-tech entry systems where they can come in if you're not home. And here in Venice, and actually Sarasota and Bradenton, we had just a couple months ago where they entered into two separate houses, I think one person 2 times, when the individual was there and did not sign up for their new program, their entry program. It's like Amazon's looking for ways to continue to pry into our lives and to have us get comfortable with major violations into our privacy, into our personal space. And some of you may be like, oh, it's not a big deal. What is the big deal? It's just that you keep taking these steps. And this is what governments, this is what big companies do. And it's a lot like in gun control. You keep taking one step. Next thing you know, you don't have any more guns. Next thing you know, you don't have any more privacy. You didn't realize it because it was all for the convenience. And you have to be concerned when it comes to Amazon over previous privacy violations that they've had out there. So it's legitimate to be worried. This is a company that is very skilled at electronic commerce, that has a history of spying, a history of surveying individuals. If you need not look any further than that EchoSpot smart alarm, remember that, where you put this basically you put this camera and microphone in your bedroom, and they listen, they can watch you, they can do whatever they want. I was talking to someone today at a clinic, and he didn't realize Samsung has a third-party agreement, and he has a Samsung where they can listen and eavesdrop on every conversation you have. Now, this new program, they're going to allow you to opt out, but you can't opt out. My understanding is until you get a package, then you can opt out. But the whole thing is around privacy. I don't know if you remember this. Not too long ago. When was it? I think it was this year, where Amazon and basically partnered with Berkshire and JP Morgan and some independent healthcare company out there. And they decided that they're going to they're going to basically have a foray into the medical industry. I think they believe their logic was they're doing it for their consumers to make it all around cheaper for them. And it doesn't surprise you. I mean, they're going in a ton of industries. They're in cloud computing, drones. We all know about the drones, the tech, the movie making, healthcare. Bezos owns the Washington Post. So we know about this. We know about their increasingly dominant role that they have out there in our lives. And it should concern all of us about our personal data, how our personal data is collected, how our personal data is used. You can't really rely on them to be honest and trustworthy, as we've seen with Facebook and the latest revelations that have come out of there. And trust me, Facebook is not alone in this. Twitter and Google are just as bad. Google's the worst. So what happens when a company, let's say to Amazon, let's say they're in the medical arena. They have access to your weekly shopping list already with that Amazon. Your eating habits. Alexa knows everything about you. Now they know all about your medical care. They already have a ton of data, but now they have even more data. But what happens when you add healthcare data to the picture? And it should be concerning. I don't have Alexa in my house. I don't know how people could have this Alexa installed throughout their house. Everybody talks. It picks up everything. There was a Gizmodo put out something. I'm not sure when they put it out. A couple months ago, I think. And basically, it suggested that this device, this voice-activated Alexa, that she could basically, that was a threat to your privacy, that they were eavesdropping and communicating and listening to everything. I already mentioned Echo. Google Home does it. They have these microphones. They're always sending volumes of data back to their parent companies. But everybody seems fine with it because it's convenient. You want my thumbprint? It's convenient. Facial recognition. I was talking to the same clinic and we were talking about facial recognition. He had a valid point where I said, I won't do the facial recognition on my iPhone. He's like, it doesn't really matter because they already got a ton of your pictures out there. And it's all collected into a database. Because at the time, I always have these lengthy conversations. And I was discussing about the cloud and how the latest omnibus budget that came out basically had some line items in there that essentially gave the government the right to come in and take your data that's on the cloud without going through the normal process you would to get a warrant to see all this stuff. And I'll get more information. I have to research it more. But I asked, I said, who would store stuff on a cloud anymore? If you see what happens with these actresses with their nude shots, who would do that? But there still are people that do it. The convenience factor. The iPhone. It listens. It listens all the time. I could sit here and talk about something I want to buy. Next thing I know, I'm seeing ads for it. There was a guy that went out about 3 weeks ago. He put his iPhone on in airplane mode and one with completely shut down. Basically, both phones tracked exactly where he was going. There was no data on them, nothing. Yet, the data was working. The GPS was working. It was tracking his every move. And I think I shared it on my national page when it came out a few weeks ago. That same meeting today, we were talking about this cam right here. How you should put tape on it because they can come in and watch you, and they can. There's videos out there. You just got to put hacked cam or whatever. And people will watch you. They can type into your computer. I remember one, and I think I've mentioned it before, where cops were standing behind a lady. She's saying, look, they hacked my cam and they're typing us. And the guy's like, why'd you call the cops? And he knows everything that's going on. There is no privacy. We've given it up. We've come accustomed to it. And that's what's happening with guns, with everything else that's out there, folks. And Tucker decided to join me on this rant. Hey, Tux. But that's it. What say you guys? Are you ready for the latest and greatest from Amazon? Let me know. Let Tucker know. This has been Frankie Abbruzzino with the Uncensored Report.